everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind podcast. Today's podcast episode number 174. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers, and it's Book Insight Friday, but it's not going to be Book Insight today. Sorry to bust your guys' bubble. I was going to do Book Insight, and I was going to delve into some projects that I've already done and completed, but I'm going to address the elephant in the room. And it's the reason why I've removed my books from the Amazon platform. It's the biggest decision I've had to make in my writing journey as an author, but it became an easy decision for me when I looked at the landscape of everything I've done in the past 6 years. And removing my books from Amazon, well, it was fulfilling for me. And I'm going to explain why. The next aspect of this is the quality of books that they print out as far as paperbacks. Now, compared to the company that I'm utilizing now, which is called The Book Patch, and the website is called thebookpatch.com. It's all one word. No dashes, no hyphenations, none of that. The book quality speaks volumes, and it looks and feels better with this new company that I switched to, which I think I did about a year ago as I'm recording this. And for me, it's been a great experience with them, but it will be a great feeling and experience when readers buy my book from the Book Patch. And the Book Patch is actually based in Arizona, where I do currently live. So they're not that far away from me, which means that I get my books faster. And that's a big problem of mine that I have with Amazon. Amazon is one of pretty much the biggest companies in the world. And they have warehouses all over the country and all over the world. So for me, as an author, if I'm ordering books, and let's just say I'm doing about 10 to 12 at a time, I'm not saying I'm ordering a huge order. Why does it take 10 to 12 days for me to get my book order? I'm the author. Along with that, I'm paying into a membership with Amazon Prime. So if I'm an author, wouldn't that kind of help the cause of authors being able to get their books in a timely manner? You have warehouses all over the country. The Book Patch only has one warehouse in Arizona, as far as I know. They may have another warehouse, but they don't have as many as Amazon, I'll tell you that. And somehow I get my books in about 5 to 7 days. Ironic. And you get to choose what kind of shipping you want with the Book Patch, whether it's USPS priority mail or media mail or UPS or whatever you're comfortable with, right? But I get my books in a timely manner, right? Next, Amazon will lower the price of your book without your knowledge. So imagine setting a price for your book and going to the platform and seeing that they lowered the price of your book without your permission. So I busted my butt, wrote the book, formatted it, book cover, spine, synopsis, and all of that wonderful stuff to put my book on your platform. You're already taking 30%. I'm getting 70%, which is fine. My paperbacks are $9.99. Why am I coming on your platform and my book has been lowered to $4.95 without my knowledge or permission? Why am I checking and seeing that? That shouldn't be allowed. We've copyrighted it's our content. We're just putting it on your platform, right? Along with that, I've seen the stories of authors going through issues with copywriting and people's accounts and accounts being shut down and all that stuff. And I'm talking authors that are they've established their platforms. They're 20 books in and have 2 and 3 book series, and they're making a good amount of money, and they're able to live well off of their books. And then Amazon decides that they're going to shut down your work that you've busted your butt for because you've got to prove to them that you have written that work. Yes, these are the stories, okay? So please understand that we as writers, authors, and creators, we go through hell with Amazon, okay? I go on Twitter and I am engaging with writers and authors, and they share their journeys as much as I try to share mine from time to time, and they do talk about the hell that they go through at Amazon. Now, Amazon does cover 80% of the market, and a lot of authors go through this whole process of feeling like Amazon is their bread and butter, and it's the only way that they feel that they can make a good profit off of their work. But when Amazon, if and when they do decide to shut down your whole platform and everything that you've busted your butt to build, now you've got to start over. Right? Imagine that. So it's why I tell authors to cover their tracks. Not just with the copywriting and all that stuff. I'm talking of making sure don't bind yourself into Kindle Unlimited and do that for 3 months, and then Amazon says you can't post your books on any other platforms, because if you do, and you can't sell your own books, your own content on your own website because you are binded to them. Imagine that. Absolutely not. But see, people don't think the way I think. As Jay-Z says, I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. I'm a business at the end of the day. I'm controlling my content. It's my brand. I'm not binding myself to Kindle Unlimited. Kindle Reads and Kindle Vella and all that stuff, that's cute, but you're only getting a short percentage of that. No. For me, not trying to sound capitalistic and money hungry, but look, I would like to be compensated for the content that I've created. So if my ebook is $1.99, I'd like to be compensated the percentage that I deserve. That's just how I operate. And that's how everyone should operate and feel. You got to get a certain amount of page views and all that, reads and all that stuff in order to get a certain percentage of all that. Absolutely not. The next thing with Amazon. Oh, there's just a nice little list of things. Next, readers are allowed to buy your ebook and return it within 7 days for a refund, which causes authors to lose profits for the month. And since that's been a major issue, now Amazon is saying that readers can return an ebook if they haven't read 10% of the book. Let me break this down to you in business terms. Self-published authors, and even some traditionally, the average ebook is $2 to $3. So we're really okay with people getting a refund for that low of an amount for an ebook? That's not something that sits well with me. I can understand, like, if you're buying something out of a store and you'll want to return it because you don't need it or it doesn't fit like a sneaker or a shoe or a shirt or a sweater or a hoodie or a pair of pants or something like that, or you buy headphones and they don't fit right in your ears like I just did recently with Amazon because the ear cups don't fit right because my ears are big and I need a certain type of ear cushion in order for me to be able to wear headphones for long periods of time. That's a different story. But if you're buying an ebook for what, $1, $2, and we're talking about self-published authors who have put their time and heart into their books, and now we're gonna start losing profits off of that. That's concerning. It's only $2 to $3. It's not like you spent $15 for an ebook or something like that. So while Amazon is the biggest platform for authors, they surely don't promote and help self-published authors because businesses are obviously looking to make a profit, and I get that. So they'll promote the top authors, you know, with the top book publishing companies, and I get that. Totally understand that. But somewhere along the lines, people should not be spending money on Amazon ads with that have a certain algorithm and you're not even guaranteed to even be noticed. And even if you are on the bestsellers list and all that stuff, that doesn't last long. So it's why I don't really care about bestsellers lists and all that stuff. I will never, ever, ever plaster #1 bestseller, New York Times, Amazon, none of that. I'm never plastering that on my book. You know why? Because it perpetuates a certain persona of a book like it's the greatest book ever. Meanwhile, everyone is entitled to their feelings and opinions of whether they like a book or they don't. And some of these bestsellers, people buy the books and then they don't end up liking them. And that's just part of it, right? So I don't really care for bestseller status or anything like that. I've never been that way. But right now I'm very passionate about this and Amazon and their policies and how they operate in regards to the ebooks and paperback side of it. I don't like how they conduct business in regards to that. And it's why I decided to kind of take all of my books off of their platform. I wasn't making them any major money, so they're not going to care about me. But any of these other authors who are doing very well for themselves, if they take their stuff off the platforms, Amazon will care. So, in a nutshell, I made a conscious decision to do this, and I haven't looked back, and I feel better about myself. I don't go on social media and tell people what to do or things like that, but when people post their frustrations with Amazon, I pretty much say that's the reason why I took my books off of their platform. And just recently, I was on Twitter and I saw someone post something about taking his books off of Amazon, and I don't know how many books in he is, but I know he's a good amount in. I think 20. I'm going to take an educated guess at that. I didn't fully investigate it, but I know based on his page, he does have quite a good amount. And then all I posted was Draft to Digital with a question mark, and he said he'll look into that stuff. But what I do tell other authors is do not bind yourself to Kindle Unlimited in 3 months and all that stuff. I did it, but that was in the beginning of my journey. But when I learned of Draft to Digital and how you can post your books to Barnes & Nobles, Kobo, Scribd, Viblio, Biblioteca, and Baker and Taylor, and so many other platforms. Believe it or not, I get book sales off of those platforms. You'd be very surprised to know. Off of ebooks. So I throw it out there to say if you're a writer or you're an aspiring author or you're an author now listening to this, do not hinder yourself, please, for the love of God. Please make sure that you do your due diligence. No, you do not have to be on Amazon to do well. I don't care to make money off of Amazon, off of my platform. If they did things right and they handled business, then yeah, I would keep my stuff on their platform. But I don't feel the need to anymore. And everyone runs with Ingram Spark, and they run with BookBaby, and they run with I forget the other company. But I don't feel the need to do that either. I carved my own path and I go in another direction. You're not gonna charge me to put my books on your platform. Like, for what? What? I think one of them companies does that. I'm like, no, thank you. I have over 40 books. Can you imagine me paying for 40 different books? No, I'm okay. The Book Patch, they do a great job. They're amazing. And if you ever want to look at the quality of my books, you can go on it. You can go on my Instagram, Aquarium Mellow, all one word. You'll see I post my books when I'm about to release them. You'll see how well they look. They look amazing. They're great. Only problem I have with Book Patch is sometimes they forget to send me an email that my books have been mailed out, and I've got to email them to see where it is or whatever the case is. But other than that, I don't really have any major issues. And if I do get books and they don't look the way I like, chances are it was something that I didn't do on my end, and it happened once. And it wasn't the end of the world for me, because I was like, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to reorder those books and keep it moving. But what I will say is do not hinder yourself. Learn the business of how all of this works, because if you're only on Amazon and Amazon decides to be complete jerks, to put it in nicer terms, now you don't have any other platforms. Now your readers don't know where they can go get your books now. Then you've got to recalibrate and figure it all out. So that's why I make sure that I put my books in different places, and on my website I make everything clickable and easy to find. My ebooks are also on the Book Patch, so even if you wanted to get my books from there, great, knock yourself out. That simple. Simplify your life. My audiobooks will never be on Audible, because no, Amazon should not be taking 40% of my audio work that I've done. Why am I only getting 60%? What, because you've got to accommodate your customers who are paying memberships? Nope. That doesn't work for me. That doesn't fly. So my audiobooks are on Payhip. When I did that podcast on Work Smarter, Not Harder, I really meant it. That's why I do what I do. And I try my best to pass the torch on to people, and I don't really force people by the hand on social media. It's more of giving you something to think about, giving you other options and avenues to go down. So that, in a nutshell, is the reason why I made a decision to take my books off of the Amazon platform. And I feel a lot better about it. When they get to a place where they're going to promote authors without having to do ads, when they get to a place where relevant reviews are worth it, and those silly, dumb reviews that are put on by people get taken off of those platforms, then I can go back. When they choose not to lower prices of your book without your knowledge, then I'll go back. But until then, not gonna work for me. And I hope that you guys understand. So my books on the other major bookstores like Barnes and Nobles and Kobo and Scribd and a whole lot of other places. So I feel better in knowing that I've done that. And I've gone on for nearly 20 minutes. But maybe I needed to do that today, to to tell you why I'm mad at Amazon. Anyway, that was a joke, but that's going to be my podcast for today. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you guys have had a great week. If you guys ever want to ask me about this journey and you guys are working on becoming an author and you're a writer, feel free to let me know. Oh, I've been meaning to say this. I have my own website for my podcast now. It's theaquarianmindpodcast.com. So if you guys ever want to listen to my podcast on that platform, on my website, feel free, do that, knock yourself out. But if you're listening to my podcast on any of these other wonderful platforms, such as Apple, Spotify, Google, Podchaser, and I think all of the 18 platforms that I happen to be on, then feel free to do that. I think the only places I'm really not on is Podbean, and there's another company, I forget. It's not coming to me. Anyway, I'm heading off. Like I said, enjoy your weekends, be productive, be good, everyone, and go accomplish your goals.